Hello everyone, we are going to be singing and teaching you You Are My Sunshine.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away.
So you may have noticed today I have my ukulele. We also have a guitar playing alongside. There's some differences though. Can you just look already at the obvious differences? Size. So Saren's guitar probably is about, what do you say, 3 times bigger?
At
Twice
least
as
3 or
big?
4.
It's a pretty large guitar. I think, is this a full-size guitar?
This is a full-size concert guitar.
Okay, and this is a soprano ukulele, so I know ukuleles can get larger, but this is typical of an ukulele size, and this is probably typical of a guitar size.
This is.
So if you look at some things, of course, there's how many strings on ukulele? There's 4 strings on ukulele, and we remember the ukulele strings with, of course, my dog has fleas, which is what it sounds like when we're tuning. But to remember the string letters, you can think of Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all. So G, C, E, A. On guitar,
We have 6 strings, so 2 more than ukulele, and the strings actually go E, A, D, G, B, and then back to an E. So these 2 notes are the same, the lowest and the highest. The easiest way to remember the strings of a guitar is thinking eat all day, get big, easy. You eat a bunch, you get really big. It's simple.
It's a very helpful way to remember.
Yeah, I can teach you how to play You Are My Sunshine if you would like.
I was thinking, some of you have asked about guitar lessons, and I have been wanting to learn, and it's just one of those things where you have to start somewhere, and so Saren's gonna take us through some of the basic ways to get started. Now, as you can see, I'm already struggling with how to set up, so what do I need to do to figure out how to play this?
The most important thing is when you're sitting down, you want to have this little crook of the guitar, this bend, it sits so perfectly on your right leg. If you're left-handed, they do make left-handed guitars that are backwards, but most guitars are automatically going to be right-handed, so you hit this nice little bend right in your leg. When you're fretting the strings, which just means that you're putting your fingers down on the strings, you have to make sure that you're keeping your fingers arched. If your fingers are too flat, then they're gonna hit the other strings and you try to play chords, and it's gonna sound real ugly. You don't want that, so you need to arch your fingers so that way they're only fretting the frets that you want them to hit. So the first chord we're gonna go over is a G chord. So Miss Stockham, first thing you want to do is on the 3rd fret, you want to go ahead and take your middle finger on the biggest string that's there and you just want to press down hard on it and just play 1 note. That's a G, and that's the root of the G chord. So then today we're going to play a simplified version of the G chord just using these 3 biggest strings. So then we're going to take our index finger, our pointer finger, and we're going to put it on the 2nd fret. And we're going to hold both of those down and we're going to strum the top 3 strings. And there's a G chord. So that's the first chord in You Are My Sunshine. And then it's really easy. To flip to the C chord, you just take this exact same shape and you move both fingers down 1 string. Perfect. And then now you have a C chord. And then don't play this top, this biggest string. Start with this, the A string, the 5th string, and play the 3 strings below it. And now we have a C chord. Perfect. So we can combine these 2 chords into You Are My Sunshine. So first we're just going to practice doing the strumming nice and slow. I'm going to strum a few more times and we're going to switch to the C chord. Yep. And then back to the G. back to the C. And just make sure you're only strumming these top 3 strings right here. If you strum this string, you're gonna hear it sound a little bit different. That's actually a different type of a C chord. It's a C sus2. But if we just strum these next 3 strings, we get that nice. So it'd start right here on the 5th string, and then don't hit this string right here. So right now you're hitting this string, so we don't want to hit either of these 2 bottom strings. These one, right, this start with this one. Yep, perfect, there's the C. And then make sure that you're not hitting that string below it. And then we can switch between the 2. Switch to the C, that's okay. And then back to the G. And those are the only 2 chords that you need to know to play You Are My Sunshine.
If you notice, my fingers, they have lines on them. We've done this with ukulele, but this is a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's that means that you're pressing down and you want those lines to be right on the tips of your fingers.
Right. And it takes a lot of focus. So in the beginning when you're starting, it's okay to really go slow. And it helps to just check that you're hitting the right strings in the right places, because there's a lot more strings to think about. And I also noticed that I wanted to take time to move hand positions. So just even taking time to practice your hand positions like you would on ukulele is a really, I guess, helpful way to practice.
Absolutely. One of the best things you can do when you're playing a song, just practice those chord changes. You can even only strum them once. So I'll start with the G, just strum those top 3 strings. And you can just take your time to find that nice C chord. So remember, it's the exact same position, just 1 string further down. I'll get closer to the camera so you can see that. So we start here with the G chord. And then we can move down to the C chord. And you can practice that and practice playing those notes individually so you can make sure that each of them is ringing out like it's supposed to.
So there's another advanced technique, and this would be down the road, but it's something that I think is really interesting to listen for, and it's called finger picking.
Finger picking.
Finger picking.
And you'll hear it called finger style guitar or Travis picking. There's a bunch of different names, but all that it means is I just take my right hand. You'll notice I don't have any pick in it, so I use my fingers as my picks. And then that way I can play notes that are way apart on the guitar and get these nice chords going. So I can play You Are My Sunshine using the finger picking like we did at the start. You can do all sorts of patterns. So you can just do that. And you can do all sorts of things once you learn how to use your fingers. That's something that's a little bit more advanced. So as you're starting off, you're just going to want to go ahead and use your pick. Make sure that as you're doing it, you want to curl this back finger and then press it firmly in your thumb. So that way you just have just that bottom piece sticking out, and then it's nice and easy to use.
All right, I want to thank you for teaching guitar today and for being on this. And I also want to thank Autumn Crocker in 3rd grade for giving this idea to do a guitar lesson. I hope that it helped you, and we will be sharing more with you guys, but happy practicing and thank you for watching.
Thank you.